It is so hard to keep up with all the AI updates from Google every single week. I'm still trying to wrap my head around some of these incredible updates. We have changes to NotebookLM, changes to Pomelli, and the big news is the update to Gemini inside of Google Drive. Let's dive into it. Let's start with NotebookLM. So first of all, there were some changes to both quizzes and flashcards. These, of course, have been around for a while, but the new update is when you start to take a quiz, you can resume that quiz at any time. So here you see I'm now on question 3 of 10, so I don't have to start over. And it's same thing for flashcards as well. Opening those up, you see I started those a while ago, and I can just pick up exactly where I left off. What's also really cool about flashcards is that you can now click on these 3 dots and click on Shuffle Set, and that will then shuffle them so you can kind of get a different mix of them and they're not always in the same order. If as you're going through your flashcards, there's one that you don't like for some reason, you can also delete just that one flashcard. And once you finish going through all your flashcards, you can then come back to them and see exactly how many you got right, how many you missed, and you can either go through all the cards again or only go through the cards you missed. Same thing for the quiz as well. Whenever you are done with a quiz, you can come back in and either retake it or review the quiz and go through all the questions and see which ones you got right and which ones you got wrong. The other big update has to do with custom infographics. I made an entire video about this a few weeks ago, but at that time it was only available to a small number of users. Now for everyone, this should be rolled out. So when you come over to infographic and click on this pencil icon, you will now see the option to choose a visual style. And I think there are 9 or 10 of them here. And so when you select one of these, it's going to make the infographic in that style. So for instance, they did a poll on Twitter, and these are the 4 most popular ones: professional, sketchnote, scientific, and kawaii. And here's what all of those look like. This one is professional. This one is kawaii. This one is sketchnote. That's my personal favorite. And then finally, we have scientific. And then 2 final little updates to NotebookLM. First of all, when you come over to sources, you can now add as a source EPUB, which is the format for a lot of ebooks. This is particularly helpful for students. A lot of times they get their textbooks as EPUBs. You would now be able to upload those in here and actually be able to chat with your textbooks. And the second update is something that's coming very soon, hopefully. But NotebookLM on Twitter has said that they are looking into creating folders for NotebookLM, and they're exploring what that would look like, and they wanted input from the community. That's pretty exciting in my opinion, because that has been a feature that we have been asking for a long time. Right now, when you come to your notebooks, everything is just a bit scattered like this. There are some third-party Chrome extensions that fix that, but it would be great to have something native in here. Maybe that would be the option to pin some of your notebooks or actually to arrange them into different folders. Really anything to help organize them would be incredible, and it does look like it is coming soon. All right, let's switch gears now. We are going to talk about Pomelli, which is a free tool by Google Labs that allows you to generate on-brand content for your business. The new update here is one I actually, again, covered a few weeks ago, but it is now available in 170 more countries. And that's a new feature called Photoshoot. When you use Photoshoot, it allows you to upload a single image, and over on the right, it sets up for you an AI virtual photo shoot. And you can click in here and choose exactly what type of images you wanted to create. So I want a studio shot, I want an in-use shot. I don't want this flat lay one, so I'll turn off that one and maybe select this one. So now we have 4 different shots. Let's go ahead and go back and then click on Create Photo Shoot, and then it will generate all of those images for you. And like I said, this is now available in 170 more countries. Before we talk about the biggest Google AI updates, let's hear from today's sponsor, i10x. i10x is an all-in-one platform that allows you to chat with all the major models from within one chat. You can chat with ChatGPT, with Gemini, with Grok, or with Claude without leaving this single chat. And if you're not sure which one to use, hop over to Chat Arena. This allows you to select 2 different models, and you could send one prompt and get an answer from both of them to see which one you like better. They also have features like deep research, AI image generation, AI video generation, and even automations that allow you to set up workflows that are powered by AI. For instance, I set one up to do AI-powered research for me every time I add a row to a Google Sheet, and then it will email me the results. And because they have dozens of different connectors and tools, this works with all your favorite apps. i10X starts at just $8 a month if you go with annual billing, $10 a month if you pay month to month, and that includes 5,000 uses of basic models, 200 uses of advanced models, and 2,500 credits to use for things like image and video generation. But for just $25 a month, you get unlimited use of both basic and advanced models and 7,500 credits to use for image and video. If you want to try it out for yourself, I'll have a link for it in the description down below, along with a coupon code to give you an additional discount. And thank you i10X for sponsoring this video. Now for the big, really exciting update. Gemini just got a whole lot better inside of Google Drive, and there's so much it can do now. So the first thing you'll notice when you come over to Google Drive, once you have this unlocked, is that you can now get AI-powered answers with the search bar at the top. So for instance, I know I have a document in here that talks about fly fishing. So I'm going to ask the question, what is the fixed line advantage in sub-zero environments? It's a very specific question, but submitting that, it's not only going to return the document that has that result in it, but it literally gives me the answer up here at the top with a citation to that document. And if I want to do a follow-up, I can just click Ask Gemini right here and actually use Gemini itself to ask a follow-up question about this. And as someone who's always really struggled with search in Google Drive, I am very excited for this little feature. Within Google Documents itself, you can also do some new pretty cool stuff. So you'll notice down here at the bottom, you now have a Gemini bar down here where you can ask it to create things for you. So right here, I already have a document that goes over my travel itinerary for a trip I did in the past to Spain. And I want to use that as a template for a new trip I'm taking in a couple of months to California. So I'll click on Match Doc Format. I will select that itinerary. I will tell it, create an itinerary for me for my trip for Google I/O. On the plus icon, you can add sources. So I want it to be able to pull information from my Gmail, where I actually have emails about my trip, the hotel, for instance, and then I can go ahead and submit that. You'll notice it is now pulling in information from my Gmail. And just like that, it created my entire itinerary for me. It pulled in the information about my hotel that I'm staying in and all the other travel arrangements, and it put it in the exact same format as my last travel itinerary. So if you have a document that's worked for you in the past and you want it to be the exact same format, Gemini can do that for you inside of Google Docs. And Gemini in Documents can do the exact same thing for tone of voice. So if you click right here on Tools, you'll see Match Writing Style. You can select a document that you've already written. So I'll select this and I'll choose this one right here. This is the document that I'm copying the style of. It's a short story written in the tone of voice of a cowboy, just to kind of emphasize this point and do like an extreme example. And so I will confirm that. And now if I tell Gemini, write me a short story about how much I love my dog, and then here it produces the story, but the tone of voice is the exact same one as the previous document, which is like this cowboy tone of voice. It's a bit of a silly example, but it shows you how if you have documents you've already written, you can now have Gemini write them in your tone of voice just by uploading them as a reference. These new updates also span everything you can do inside of Drive, including Google Sheets. So let's give that one a test. I have a PDF inside of Google Drive. That's a marathon training schedule for novice runners. So I'll come over to Drive and I'll ask it, create a spreadsheet I can use to track my marathon training. Then I'll do the @ symbol and look for that marathon PDF, and we'll submit that off. And so then it took basically this static PDF and turned it into something I can actually use. I can see all the runs I'm supposed to do. And when I actually do them, I can check them off to keep up on my progress. This also works with Google Slides as well. In this example, this person asked Gemini for it to create a presentation for them that recaps the last 2 months of their life, their travel, their hobbies, their social calendar. And then using that, it collected all that information and put together a really cool looking presentation like this, that is their life update over the last 60 days. And yeah, I feel like I haven't quite wrapped my head around everything this can do yet because there's just so much. And I'm just continually exploring this and learning myself. I mean, check this out. We have templates here for meeting notes, decision logs. You can have an email drafter, AI summaries. Stuff like this begins to look to me like a Notion killer. And I don't think most people realize just how powerful this is because it's working with the tools that so many people around the world are using and bringing AI to them, sometimes for the first time. As I learn more about what this new integration can do and all the powers of it, I'll definitely be making a new video. So if you don't want to miss out on that, definitely subscribe to the channel. Last thing I want to say is that currently this is only available for Google Workspace users who have Gemini Alpha and Google AI Pro and Ultra subscribers. I'm sure it's coming to everyone down the line, but for right now, it is limited to those people. So those are all the major Google AI updates from the past week. And in particular, I think that last one is really a game changer. You're going to see a lot of people who previously hadn't adopted AI using it for the first time, and it's really going to push things forward. Let me know, though, what you think in the comment section down below. And then if you want my full course on how to use Google Gemini, check it out right here. I made it available on YouTube absolutely for free. So if you want to learn everything you need to know about Google Gemini, click right here and I'll see you over there in just 1 second. Bye for now.